Welcome everybody to Formula C by Celeritas. My name's Webbo. I'm your enthusiastic and very keen to get going commentator for the evening. I'm also your host and partly to blame as to why things have moved a little bit slowly getting going tonight. Had a very late call up to be the host, so I am doing my level best. We're about to get going with our third race in Formula C. Formula C being the exclusive creation of the Celeritas team, and I'll walk you through some of those rules and differences as we get going. Welcome to everyone joining us on the stream, and thank you very much for your patience. If you've been waiting for us to get going, I must apologise. It's been a little bit hectic over here, but we're keen to get going. As you can see, for the seasoned racers among you, we are at the Hungaro Ring in Hungary. Tight, twisty, claustrophobic little track, and it looks to be typically baking hot in our race, certainly in our qualifying today. But our drivers will invariably let me know if we've got some sort of weather prediction other than what we're looking at on the screen. So we got going. We're collecting our drivers together. I think we'll have some late arrivals, but one of the unique features to Formula C here is we have 3 driver teams, and occasionally we will have the opportunity for one of those 3 drivers to race engineer for the other 2 drivers. It's a 12 race championship, but each driver can only compete 8 times to give us a good idea of who can work best as a team. The points are also divided a little bit more fairly, and every finisher gets at least 1 point from our races, a fact that perhaps has been escaping some of our racers in the early stages of Formula C. We'll say we're getting going. I'm just looking at Lightning wiggling his way out of a turn, fighting traction, and has already invalidated. So I hope you'll forgive us for moving on to somebody else. Bruder in the gorgeous Versace Couture car, the black, orange, and carbon color scheme. Unique to their team, of course. This is Bruder Bist Du Lost, and he's on a hot lap right now. He is taking the car around these corners quite cautiously, but that's always good for a first banker lap. Leaves a little bit of a gap there to the pit wall, and he's going to cross the line and get a 1:15.5. We have fast racing for the Joker's team. He's just gone in about 9/10 slower than Bruder. So again, probably looking at a safe banker there. We see Dittel, one of our fastest Division 2 drivers, getting a 15.6, followed by his teammate Zonic, a 15.8. So nice and close for that team. Beetle goes fastest. Here's Beetle, look. Beetle in the OWP team. I'm still not entirely sure what OWP stands for. Send me your suggestions. Maurizio has joined. He's invalidated his lap, sadly. Sparks is a driver who is in our Division 3 on a Sunday night, and I think he's leading the way in Division 3 and hoping to get promoted over and above anybody else, even if those other people give out an awful lot of chat. Here he comes though. He's racing for Motorsport Audi team. We are a couple of drivers missing tonight. Hopefully they're going to pick up what may have happened to them is they did not see that there was a game update, and sadly have had to set that loading. I know that's happened to at least one of our drivers. Another one has not been answering messages, so I don't know if they're frantically trying to do exactly the same. Following on here with Julian in the BMW Sauber. Julian's he's been a fairly recent introduction to Celeritas, but has been right on the pace and right at the front of the grid. Pretty much walked away with the previous race when we went to Singapore. So slightly different challenge tonight. Similarly high downforce, I imagine, for our drivers. And he's going to come out of the final corner, cross the line on a 14.3, pole position for Julian immediately, and a lot faster than Beetle. So great marker put down by Julian. That's what everyone else has to battle with. Looks like his teammate Storm has joined us. Storm, I hope I won't embarrass you by revealing that Storm was one of those drivers caught out by the unexpected update. Like I say hello if you've joined us in the chat. Always good to get your input. I don't have a co-commentary tonight, but we will make do with just my voice and maybe some special guests a little bit later on. Here comes Monarch. He's going to start his outlap. Let's follow along with Monarch and see how he's going. DRS open. It's the car stopped and nicely into the apex of turn 1. Short stab down to turn 2. Take a lot of speed in and take a very late apex here. So he's following the racing line very nicely. Through 3. Climbing up the hill, picking a blind apex point for 4. Very nicely done. Into 5 again. Late, long apex. Then this tricky, bumpy chicane. How greedy do you want to be on those bumps? Not greedy at all from Monarch. We go through this high downforce, high G-force section now. Switchback turns. None of them quite flat out. We race down to the final big stop of the lap. Gets an early apex, gets a little bit wide, maybe slightly oversped through there. And we miss the apex on the penultimate corner. Not always a big penalty for doing that. Grabs 4th gear, nice and close, gets a good drive out of the final corner, and Monarch crosses the line in a 13.6 for pole position. Again, significantly faster than Julian. So Julian has a lot of work to do there, and we'll be surprised, I think, to see a lap time so competitive come out from Monarch. So congratulations to Monarch. Looks like we've got our moving chicane team back on it. Fast Racing is back out on another lap. We'll follow along with him. This is the Scuderia Jokers team, exclusively represented by our Brazilian friends Bruno, Fast Racing and Maurizio. It looks like Maurizio's got a slightly different coloured icon dot, so his shade of green is not necessarily matching perfectly. Comes round the final corner then. Of course the car is asymmetrically liveried, so depending on which way he's going around a corner will depend on the colour you predominantly see. Doesn't improve though, sadly. No improvement. Yeah, here you can see Maurizio's colour scheme slightly duller than Fast Racing's. He's on his outlap. He's on his first timed banker lap, so be hoping to get round here without an invalidation and a reasonably competitive time to build on later in the quali session. So this helicopter cam not helping us get a great great impression of how quick his lap is. I think he was a little bit wide of that apex and into that parabolica-like penultimate corner. Switching the car. Looks like someone on a controller to me from Maurizio. Feeds the car out way too late at the apex. Misses the white lines and sadly invalidates on the very last section. Let's join a team we haven't looked at yet tonight. Here's Moving Chicane Motorsport, represented by only one driver right now. Unfortunately, I think we haven't got his teammate, hasn't appeared yet. Branch, one of our regular contributors. So we'll hope for a good drive from Ivan. It was an up and down kind of a race in Singapore. Started near the back with his teammate Pinty last week. Rose as high as I think 4th or 5th together, and then ended up pretty low down at the end as well, based on strategy. Anyway, Ivan crosses the line in a 1:16.0. So yeah, a good time from him, I think. Was that Sparks just putting in a lap, or did I see? Yeah, it was Gogs who just put in a new lap for the OWP team. He gets a 1:15.2 as his fastest lap. Yeah, all cars in the pits at the moment. We've got Gogs back out. He's under his time, so we'll stick with him through to Sector 1. Remind me, is that Lightning in the chat? If so, hello to you. My predictions tonight. Well, I think Monarch has really thrown up the spanners into the air tonight. I think I probably would have naturally gone for Julian, but it's looking really strong for Versace at the moment in this stage of quali. It's really hard. I know so many of these drivers, and it's each of them can win on their day. They're really talented, and they put an awful lot of work in to back that up. So yeah, we're looking to. I think the reason we go racing is so we can find out who's good. But I think it really does wax and wane depending on what type of track. So it seems to be favouring the OWPs and of course our Versace team. I don't know if we can get away with product placement at this stage of our server. I think we probably can. And you know, if Versace want to reach out and sponsor the commentator, then I'm certainly be willing to negotiate that one. Hi to BMW in the chat as well. BMW Ustavir, one of our editors and regular contributors to our Discord server. It's not too late to join us at Celeritas. If you want to be part of this growing community, then you'd be very welcome to see if you've got what it takes. We have some spaces available in our Division 3, which race on a Sunday night, and that would help you build a case to try and get into Division 2, and you'll see all the details on the Discord server, and I think there's a link in there from the YouTube chat. If not, reach out and we'll hook you up. It'd be great to have you, but you can always reserve for any of our races apart from, I think, Formula C. Oh dear, Beetle loses it, going for a faster lap there. He's able to push really hard now because he's already got that really nice banker down. So yeah, testing the limits of those soft tyres. Julian's time is a fair bit slower than Monarch's, but remember, Julian is on those medium tyres, so perhaps going for a different strategy tonight. We'll see. Let's have a look at SJT, but of course SJT, just as I switched to him, sadly has invalidated. So yes, unfortunately that's a reset and try again kind of job for SJT Fast Racing. Of course the drivers will carry their tyres over, so it's not always smart to try and go for a second lap. Probably quite good to try and stay on your favoured strategy to get the best launch, especially if you're going to start on those soft tyres. Of course, you don't want to use those up. It's always a balance between taking as much as possible out of the tyres and hampering your first stint in the race. Here's Maurizio trying to get a safe banker in now. He's pretty much going to have one shot unless he back-to-backs this one. Fifth gear through that turn 5, I think. Sorry, turn 4. Turn 5 was pretty smart. And we're going to pile in onto the chicane there. The steering very well clear of the bumps. Kind of looks to me like Maurizio not particularly familiar with the track. A little bit hesitant, but it's bitten him twice, I think, already. So who can blame him for that? He's taking it cautiously. Yeah, here we go. Into the penultimate corner. Good constant speed there. Keeps up the highest minimum speed he can. Nice and tight on the pit wall. Gentle on the throttle. And it's a sprint to the end. 1:14.9 sets Maurizio. It looked slow to me, but what do I know? He gets P4. Great result for Maurizio and Scuderia Joker's team. Good work from him. Let's join Julian. Julian's on a fast lap now. He's gone out again on those mediums, sticking on that strategy, and he's 1/10 under his time as he piles over that blind crest of turn 4. Here we go. Down into the chicane. Yeah, nice bump onto the second curb. Takes maximum width of the track. This is very typical Julian. Julian driving here. This looks quick as he's through the switchbacks. Again, a quarter of the second under his best time. So really aggressively going for it now. Rides the curb. Gets the car turned in beautifully into the penultimate corner. Little wiggle on the way out. He'll hope to get a nice late apex. Yep, really smart. This should be a hot time from Julian as he crosses the line. Stays second, but consolidates that position and goes faster. He did lose a little bit of time in that final sector, sadly for him. So we'll just follow along with Beetle, who is, I think, on an outlap at the moment. He's slightly under. No, they've just got a bad sector time come up on the screen. So Beetle slightly under, gunning for that 4th place off Maurizio. It's well within his reach at the moment. I think Bruder is well out of his reach, unless he can push on. Thanks for the info, Ash, on the chat. Good to have you with us again. And here comes Beetle, locks up into the penultimate corner. Hopefully he's consolidated those gains and he can just catch that 4th place as he gets to the line. Gets almost a second under his time. Beetle goes P2. He got so much time out of that final sector. What a final sector from Beetle. Congratulations for him. Well done on that 2nd place. Everybody's final laps coming in now. Looks like Dittle on a quick lap. Is he? No, he's invalidated. Sadly, here comes Gogs towards the line. We'll see where he comes in. Slow out on that throttle. It's painful waiting for the throttle to kick in. Doesn't improve. Here comes Bruder. Has invalidated his final lap. Monarch has given up. Bruder's not going to go any faster. We've got Gwyneth in the Blaze Motorsports. Nice colour scheme here with the 2 Blazes together on track. The second one behind of Ashtu, probably hoping to catch a tow down into the final straight. Gwyneth, no improvement. Ash, also no improvement. He managed to invalidate his Snarf in the Cyan Racing. Another invalidation. So it looks like we have our grid, at least at the front end. Snarf isn't going to go any faster. Storm got our slowest set time as a 1:33. So that's weird. I don't quite know what's happened to Storm tonight. Yeah, maybe he's trying a specific challenge. So Ash didn't get to the flag in time. That's why it went red, of course. Thank you very much for the info. What a shame. Okay, so this looks to be our grid anyway. Like I say, doesn't look like Storm's going to improve here. So top of the grid, Monarch on a 1:13.6. Beetle a 1:14.1 from Julian. We've got Versace from OWP, from BMW Sauber by another Versace as our teams progress. BMW Sauber are defending the top of the championship at the moment from Atlas GP. Here's your race grid order then. So Monarch from Beetle and Julian, as I've already said, then Bruder, Zonic, Maurizio, Gogs, Sparks, Lightning and Dittlelick comes in 10th position. And then with free choice of strategy comes Gwyneth, Ivan, Fast Racing Storm, Snarf, and Ashtube. We are missing a couple of drivers, as I mentioned at the start, a couple of no-shows, sadly, despite our switching driver system. But an exciting race up ahead of us. Hopefully it's going to be dry, and we'll see what happens. So I guess I can bring in the first of our special guests tonight. Very pleased to welcome, you've heard his voice many times, but pleased to welcome David Croft. David, great to have you with us, and what do you make of this format? Well, I've got absolutely no idea what on earth is going on, but I'm just going to scream about absolutely everything. I'm just quaking with utter excitement. This is incredible. Okay, thanks, David. That was some insightful analysis from yourself there. Not quite sure what he's so excited about, but glad to have him with us all the same. So hi to everybody saying hi in the chat in between sessions. Good to have you with us. And it like I say, it does look bright and sunny here at the Hungaroring. I think perhaps David Croft had caught a little bit too much sun. So 16 starters tonight. We are missing cars from Cyan, from Moving Chicane, and I'm just trying to track everybody else. We might be missing an entire team by the sound of things, but we'll get going. Ash will start at the back with Snarf, and I think then remember that Storm set that rough time there. I'm hoping he'll let us know what happened with the time he set in the BMW Classic livery here, and matching helmets, so very stylish from Storm. You wouldn't expect any less from our server owner, would you? Then we have Fast Racing for Scuderia Joker's team. We've got Ivan here. This is, remember, Moving Chicane Motorsport. Not a quick qualifying time, but he's hoping for a better strategy. Looks like Storm's starting on hards. Let's have a quick check in with that. Forgive me, always forget to set these up differently for the race and quali. So medium tyres all around. Ashtube on the softs, hoping for a good launch off the start there, and with the exception of Storm, who's gone for those hards. Then we've got Dittel in the very stylish liveried Atlas GP. The Audis of Sparks and Lightning are stuck together, so be needing to cooperate on the grid, be a little bit nervous of tripping over each other there. Maurizio significantly different from his teammate, and then we've got the fast drivers Sonic, Bruder, Julian, Beetle and Monarch. Make out your grid in reverse. Ready to race. It's lights out. It's glitch time. Glitch. It's go, go, go at Hungary for Formula C as Monarch makes a good launch off the start. Beetle a little bit slower, but up the inside comes Maurizio. I think that was a significant place gain from him. Good work, but it looks like the Versace Couture got the better of the traction out and makes it a 1-3 for Versace. Further down the grid, we've got Zonic consolidating his fifth position. Julian, I fancy, has dropped down ever so slightly there at the start as the drivers pile in to that blind corner, and things are getting tasty. Round turn 4. Oh dear, Maurizio, after a sublime start, got turned around there right at the beginning, and I'm sorry to say he's stuck down right at the back of the grid now. Ash has made up a tremendous amount of places at the start. Obviously chose a great line, and I'd love to see a replay of his start. Ash up into P8 from P16 on the grid, taking advantage of everybody else's problems as he gets another place. I think Off Lightning gets round the around the Audi car there and Blaze into P7. So phenomenal start from him. Brilliant work, absolutely brilliant. Julian getting close up behind Zonic. It looks like not enough to catch enough of a toe down this fairly short straight, but be hoping to stay with him until it's DRS time. Further down we've got Lightning recovering. He's gapped his teammate Sparks and puts enough pressure on Ash to lock Ash up into turn 3. But it's kind of formation driving through this section after lap 1. I don't really want to see cars side by side into 5 and through 4 either. It's very, very difficult. Yeah, it's very much a track of trying to stay in the dirty air for as long as possible before seeing what else you can do on the main overtaking spots. Here comes Julian out of the last of the switchbacks, trying to stick with Zonic, but really it's very difficult unless you've got a load of overspeed to get anyone into that corner. But look how close he is. He's going to take a wide line to get a good drive out of penultimate corner. Zonic looks like he might lose this place before they get to the straight. Zonic going really high on that bank turn. What have we got coming up? Julian gets the inside on Zonic, keeps it from the last corner down the inside, and Zonic will try to come back at him into 2. But so far, so good for Julian with that move from Zonic. So great move, and he looks to head further up the grid if he can. Right at the front, Monarch has gapped Beetle, who has done exactly the same thing to, I was going to say to Monarch, but Monarch's just made a mistake. Look, Monarch has spun out, and he was going so well at that early point. This looks like Lewis in Imola all over again. Can't get the car turning circle engaged, smashed his front wing to smithereens, and it looks like a change of strategy due for Monarch. What a shame. He'll be hoping for a safety car later in the race, but maybe a switch to hards. We'll watch onto that. But yeah, Carrera in the chat commenting on Ash's great start again. Yeah, we love that. It's good stuff. Ash has lost out to one car at least from his rocket start, and he has picked up a penalty. We'll see how difficult this penalty game is for our drivers around the Hungara ring. It's lap 4. Julian's got the fastest lap at this stage, and we've got 2 cars with penalties already. Massive shame for Monarch. He'd done so well at the start there, and I was just reading the order off as he spun into the first sector. Julian accelerating away. Has he actually got Bruder already? So Julian up into P2. I don't know how he got there so quickly, but Bruder has clearly been compromised out of one of the corners, and Zonic's closed in, and Julian has got by. The pole sitter curse strikes again in Celeritas. It's not every single week as it was at the start of our seasons, but it's nearly every week, and certainly more often than not. The pole sitter has a nightmare on the first lap. There's Monarch, he has pitted. Beetle holds the lead at the moment after that problem from Monarch. But I don't think he's going to hold it long, because here comes Julian. We're going to see exactly what Julian has got coming down into the start-finish straight. Can Beetle play any kind of games with ERS, with strategy? Gives him the inside, and Julian doesn't need to be invited twice down the inside of a driver and gets the place. Beetle, I think Beetle's probably recognising that Julian has got sublime pace right now. So much so, even though they're on the different tyres, I think Julian's walking this without any kind of pressure. But let's hope that they come under some sort of pressure through the race. Otherwise, with this pace differential on the different tyres, we're in trouble. we're in trouble. Storm, who started on those hards, remember, Storm's up to P11. He's Julian's teammate. So they're on very much a split strategy. May not be out of entire choice after that qualifying session. But they should be covered as a team in all eventualities as they come through. So we did have some close teammates at the start, and right now the best team performance is from OWP here on screen. Beetle and Gogs in 2nd and 5th, followed by we've got Audi in 6th and 7th, Blaze in 8th and 9th. We've also got Joker's team in 12th and 13th together. And something's happened to Dittle. I didn't catch what happened to Dittle, but he's tumbled down the order as well. Julian, 1:18.2, goes fastest again. And we see some penalties racking up. So lap 6, we've got 4 lots of penalties at this point in the race. We'll see if we can have less penalties than laps for the majority of the race, if possible. Yeah, let's have a look at Gogs, who's right with the Audis. This looks really tight. I wonder if Lightning's made a mistake or whether Sparks has just got more pace at the moment. They're both on medium tyres, so their grip should be about equal to the softs at the moment. The softs nearing the end of their life, I fancy, at this point. We've got the Blaze of Ash catching these 4. So these guys look great together on track, and I hope we don't get too many in the way, much in the way of fireworks. Monarch goes fastest. Faster than Julian on medium tyres. Monarch didn't switch to hards, he's gone to mediums. Let's see what he produces out of here. A little bit of glitching from Ash there, I think, but Gogs losing out slightly to Ash and Sparks. Sparks patiently waiting behind his teammate, and in fact it looks like Bruder pitted, so he's gone for an early pit stop, and Lightning is going to try and attack Zonic for that current podium place, but again I fancy these guys might be looking pretty hot. The Audi's looking pretty good at the moment, because look at them, they are both on those medium, apart from Julian, the top medium driver. Yeah, this is definitely that point where the softs are giving up on our drivers. Zonic, usually a very smooth driver, and good on the tyres, so we'll expect to see Zonic piling into the pits if he's watching his pace. And look at this, we've got a Zonic train starting further down the grid. When we get a nice wide angle shot, you see just how many cars are collecting together here. So Carrera speculating that Gogs made a mistake. Yeah, look, he's down in 9th. These soft tyres, it's a lap too long. Lap 7 is a lap too long in. Wow. Okay, so he got him up into the final corner. Zonic, he didn't really have the option of pitting around that lap, with Lightning getting the move done before the pit lane. I wonder if that has messed with Zonic's strategy, or it actually helps Zonic just to lean on these tyres one more lap. He's trying to defend into turn 3. Into turn 2, but Sparks gets him. Side-by-side action through turn 3, up the hill, and yeah, Sparks got him. So Audi 3-4 right now, but we expect Beetle to pit before those guys. So it could well be Audi 2-3 once this gone. So yeah, Bruno pointing out that there's no DNFs. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being with us and watching, Bruno. Yeah, no DNFs at this point is a lot better than we've seen in our Division 1 races in the last 2 weekends. Seen a lot of stones being thrown in the Discord about the quality of certain divisional races by Division 1 drivers, and I have to say, they're kind of living in a glass house themselves at the moment after all the retirements we've had in Division 1. So yeah, let's take care of our own finishes first, perhaps. Here comes Audi's again, and yeah, it looks like Beetle's gone into the pits, so Audi's inherit second and third, and Julian, as Carrera Fan points out in the chat, Julian's gap is huge, 12 seconds now at the front, and they're all on mediums. All of our medium runners are now at the front. Let's see where some of our soft runners are going to come out. Beetle, look, he went from second down to 13th. Such was that train in the middle of the field. Maurizio and Gogs staying out there on those soft tyres. They're going to hope to make, I think, mediums last the rest of the race, which might be slightly optimistic. Time will tell, of course. It looks like a hot day in Hungary. Of course, Celeritas not yet able to fly me out in business class, so I am doing this from my studio tonight, unfortunately. One day, people. Yes, so Maurizio and Gogs are last drivers on those soft tyres. I wonder where these guys are going to feed out when all this shakes out. I would imagine they're going to pit now. 10 laps. They're really good at preserving these tyres, and yes, I think both of them coming into the pits, one behind the other, and yeah, Maurizio's going to need to be careful not to run into the back of Gogs. We've seen that before, I can tell you, not least on servers, but also in real life, of course, different races. But Julian has a gap at the front of 13.5 seconds, so the time we spent watching those two drivers, he gained a second and a half. So I think people are going to be praying for a safety car at this point for a battle for the lead, but yeah, hopefully we'll see some battles through the grid. Ivan's showing well. Look, Ivan, last of those medium starters, currently up into P9, so and chasing down Fast Racing. Fast Racing building the pressure on himself with his own name, and currently doing a bit of medium racing, I think, tonight. Anyway, Storm on the hard tyres. Remember, he was right down in the grid. He's currently in P6, his teammate in P1. Storm's probably enjoying those tyres at the moment relative to everybody else. A yellow flag in sector 2. Let's hope that doesn't turn into anything dramatic for our drivers. Let's see if we can see anybody down there in sector 2. I can't see anybody making contact. Beetle and Ivan are pretty close together. So Beetle, Ivan, Fast J Racing. Looks like Fast Racing just defending to the inside. So he gets the drive. Beetle comes through. Beetle's on new tyres, of course. He went for hards. That could be a really smart choice. Now he's got those up to speed, he's able to race with them. P8 for Beetle. So let's see if Julian can make these tyres last. If so, obviously he's nailed on for the win, and if he continues to pull out the lead that he's pulling out, pretty much nailed on for the lead, whether he has to pit again or not. But Beetle looking really strong, best of the rest at the moment, I think, and those hard tyres should get him to the end, as long as he doesn't flat spot them or get any problems. Up at the front, things are getting a bit tasty here between the Audis. Sparks, I doubt, is going to be happy running behind Lightning all the time. I wonder if they're cooperating on their channel, or if they've actually got some team orders coming to fruition. Here comes Sparks. He's got DRS. I don't think Lightning's going to make this too difficult for Sparks, and this is the point now where we will see what kind of pace Sparks has got after this DRS zone, where he's got an advantage, of course. But let's watch this lap and see if he's got a pace advantage over Lightning and it's time to push for Audi, or whether they'll just cooperate and draft each other one after the other down the straights. That's another tactic from kind of Indy cars and NASCAR. It's actually possible to increase your overall lap speed as a team by cooperation. Early stage of the race still, lap 12 of 35. Lots of fans in attendance, so they haven't been given the briefing for COVID-19 there in Hungary. Didn't factor that in, did we, Codemasters? But here comes Lightning. He's dropping back slightly, still half a second, so we'll get DRS, and he locks up. into that big stop. Locks up again, so not enjoying his setup at the moment. Snatching tyres occasionally. He'll get DRS, but I don't know if it's enough to make an action a pass. Closing in fast. Yeah, here he comes. Wow, that was a big difference in traction and DRS top speed. Here they go, cooperating down the straight. Lock up into one. Don't touch, guys. Don't touch. You've taken a long time to come out of this corner. You did touch. Oh, no! So Lightning and Sparks did touch. Lightning got the worst out of it and has dropped down, what, 3 places? Terrible inter-team relations there. I think there's going to be some harsh words. It's a good job they have a private channel to discuss these things away from us. I don't imagine they'll be reporting each other, but yeah, to be a fly on the wall in Audi Motorsports. Can you imagine being their race engineer and their spare driver right now? Tearing their hair out. What are you doing, boys? Onto the naughty step for you two, I'm sure. Really bad result for Audi when they were nailed on there for a podium at this point. So Snarf in the Cyan Racing sneaks his way right up to P3. I hadn't noticed him, so apologies to Snarf, but he's caught significantly to Sparks after that contretemps with his teammate. So Snarf will be laughing inside the helmet. That has helped Julian, as CareerFan points out in the chat, to get a pit stop in hand now, virtually. Maybe now they're back up to racing speed, they can catch a little bit better. I know Snarf has certainly in different tracks around the Celeritas season has had good pace. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get by, what he can do from here. And Quinn bringing Blaze for a rare visit into the top 10 at the moment, and driving really well right now. So not throwing any shade on Blaze, but tend to have started Formula C quite slowly with us guys, but certainly driving very well tonight. His teammate is down at P11 though at the moment on a split strategy. There's Storm, like I was mentioning earlier, probably enjoying these hard tyres relative to those medium runners ahead of him. I wonder what lap Storm will go up to, 27, 28 even on these tyres. I'm sure he'll be keeping a close eye on his pace relative to everybody else, to see exactly where he winds up at the end of the race. Snarf's very, very close to Sparks here. It's a bit of a tongue twister getting these guys the right way around. So 4 tenths, 3. DRS open, 2 tenths. Will he have enough to have a stab down into the final corner, into the first corner? No, he doesn't. Bit of a difference in top speed setup there, and we have a safety car. So boom, goodbye, says Julian to his lead. I wonder who triggered that safety car. Was it Ash? Is it Ash tumbling down the order, or is it Fast Racing? Ivan? I can't see anybody disappearing on us. Gogs has got a huge, Ivan's got a huge amount of penalties. Ivan's dropping down. I think it must have been Maurizio. Look, Maurizio has lost out. Now, who is this going to help? I wonder if anyone pits at this point in the race. Maurizio leaves the session. Dude, just go in the pits, repair your damage, please. And then you can get a point for finishing. But I guess if you're racing mad, then you probably don't want to. Yeah, here comes Bruder into the pits. A collision under the safety car. Sparks had stopped after the blind corner, and Snarf rammed into the back of him. Does this force Snarf into the pits? I would imagine so. He's lost a significant part of his front wing. Would have been better to take a penalty at that point. In comes Snarf and Sparks ahead of him. What does Dittle do? Dittle pits. Lightning pits. All our medium runners pit. Storm is going to pit as well. Interesting tactic, but Beetle elects not to. Beetle's on those hards. He stopped for those hards, remember. I'm not quite sure why he's stopping on the start-finish line. Surely the safety car's up ahead of him. So Storm everybody pitting at the top of the group here, and through goes Zonic back up towards the podium. So he'll be enjoying that, I'm sure. 6-lap-old hards probably may well get him to the end here. He's got his teammate Dittle behind him, that's going to help. So Sparks comes out 5th, Lightning 6th. Oh dear, the Audis are next to each other again. Okay, less said about that the better. I know Lightning's got a fair amount of patience, possibly more patience than we've seen Sparks driving with. But I imagine he's muttering things in the helmet at the moment. So your order right now, Julian from Beetle and Zonic. I don't know if Julian's even caught the safety car. He has. Beetle will be closing up behind him, and Zonic really happy to gain all this race time off Beetle. Julian looking at the back of the safety car, begging its lights to go off. It really needs its lights to go off right now, but I don't think they're going to. I imagine we're going to get another lap, and that's going to be crushing blow for Julian's lead. Let's hope he didn't take too much out of those tyres. He actually pitted, look, he got a cheap pit stop just like everybody else. So Julian on hard tyres to the end from here. He will do the whole race without touching those softs. So brilliant stuff. But yeah, we go again for another lap under the safety car. It's lap 17, halfway through, just about, with Julian from Beetle, Zonic and Dittle in the matching Atlas GP. Then we've got Audi teammates stuck together again, both on hard tyres to the end, Sparks and Lightning. Then we've got Gogs in the OWP. He's on slightly older hards, but still should be good to go to the end. Snarf racing for Cyan Racing. Then Storm gave up those track positions that he had. He's now on the mediums. Mediums to the end, quite achievable, I think, and will be in a hot position here with grip straight out of the safety car. What we have seen before in our league races has been a difficulty getting those hard tyres back up to temperature after a restart or a pit out, and I'm not seeing a lot of tyre warming going on, and that makes me nervous because our hard tyre runners are going to really struggle into those first few corners. So we'll be watching Storm to see what he can do from the outset. Look at the Versace Couture, guys. Unbelievable to go from pole for Monarch down to 14th despite the safety cars. Again though, he's on mediums, fresh mediums, so's Bruder. He'll be hoping to join his teammate through the pits, and it looks like a restart is about to happen. Everybody, let's get ready. Julian warming up. I'll be surprised if our drivers' tyres are properly up to temperature. Zonic is flirting with a penalty there. He's trying to double stack with Beetle, and watch Julian on the way out. Julian goes a little bit earlier than the last corner and gaps Beetle. Zonic gets it all wrong on those cold tyres, just as I was predicting. I take no pleasure in that. It's really tricky because we're going to watch these cars down to the first corner. Here comes his teammate Dittle with a better drive. Caution with an Audi going around the outside of Sparks. Can everybody get through here? Wow, Sparks, Lightning coming at the inside of Sparks. He's risking it again with Sparks, but just seeds on the way out. Sparks sticks his nose up into turn 3. I think we're going to see some Sparks soon because Sparks getting really racy on track and trying manoeuvres where really manoeuvres shouldn't be tried. That's 0 to 0 kind of stuff, as Lightning watches on patiently behind him. Storm didn't get anywhere in the first melee, but I'm sure he'll be enjoying some good grip at the moment. Wow. So safety car comes in, and we don't see any major changes at this point, but we are here comes Ash. Sticks his wheel up the inside of the Joker's team. Fast Racing defends pretty robustly, gets the inside line, gets fairly good drive out, tiny bit of glitching possibly as Ashtube gets a toe, tries to take the inside line, gets the inside line, and Fast Racing tiptoes round the corner. Up ahead, it looks like we've got some action with Storm trying to get past Snarf. Snarf defends, so Ash coming out of the switch back to find P10 with Ivan hunting down Fast Racing. Remember guys, there's points for all the finishes, so try not to be too racy at the foot of the grid. Don't want any more safety cars. Well, certainly Julian doesn't. But look at the gap again. Julian's 3.6 seconds. He's not in the mood to be to have his lead diminished too quickly. Sparks got Zonic in the end in that lap, and here comes Lightning trying to get the inside line. Oh, it's tight. It's very, very tight. We're going to the penultimate parabolic corner. Here comes Lightning looking, hunting down. Gog's getting racy behind him. Then we've got a bit of a train forming. We'll try and follow all the action as Lightning takes the inside line. Zonic tries to defend, gets back to the outside, and job, I think, done from Lightning. Further down, Gogs defending from Storm on the outside, Cyan on the inside. This can't end well, guys. A little bit of contact. Storm trying to hold on to that inside line. Looks like he might even be risking losing out to Snarf. He has. Certainly as they cross the timing beam. Storm trying to hold on side by side, but no, Storm actually ended up losing every inch of that maneuver. We get a yellow flag in sector 2 again. I wonder what's happened. Let's hope it's not the Audi boys again. There's a bit of a gap between the Audi boys now. Lightning managed to get Zonic on those bedded in now hard tyres, while Zonic's are 10 lap old. So let's see what's going on next. Whew. Okay, it's a tough job doing commentary on my own. It's tough on my voice anyway. Here comes Snarf, P8. He's got a good gap, a good, nice, close gap for DRS on Gogs. DRS is open. Can he get him? Doesn't look like they're great on top speed, the Cyan Racing cars, or at least Gogs defended with ERS. But of course, Snarf will get the inside and get the double DRS effect on the second zone. Gogs defends into 3, who have the outside line now going into 4. I don't like the look of this. Give each other racing room. 0 racing room given by Snarf. He just took the racing line and said, you're not coming onto my line. And thankfully, it didn't end in tears. Ashtube getting really close to Storm here. Storm not really able to hang with the hard tyre boys for some reason. So there's a Gogs wide line there. And Storm gets away this time under grip through the switchback, so that's where Storm's advantage lies. Sadly though, there's only really one line through there, so he's going to need to try and make up some time in the final corner to get a drive on Gogs. Here he comes, he's nice and close now. Look, he's got closer up the apex, better grip. Surely it must be here. We've got DRS open for Storm, but his top speed is nowhere near Gogs. He's going to have to do it on the brakes. Gets the car stopped with a little bit of locking up. Ash tries to take advantage. Ash successfully takes advantage and will now try and take Storm into turn 2. Oh, Storm locks up. He's going to have to go side by side through 3 again for a second lap on the trot. Fed Ash out into the grass there, and Gogs tries to get back but doesn't succeed. So Storm back up to P8 now, with Snarf following Zonic, who's struggling on those older hard tyres. I don't know if Zonic is going to be able to get these hards to the end. It's looking pretty tight for him at the moment. Zonic, yeah, drifts out to the outside. I don't think he was helped into it, but I'm sure he'll let us know after the event if he did. But looks like Snarf got that P6 up ahead. So your current order, lap 22 of 35, as a yellow flag hits us again in sector 3. And I see Dittel going all over the track. Looks like Dittel's lost an end plate, made a mistake. Hopefully we're avoiding a VSC, but it's all going wrong for Atlas GP at the moment, as Zonic is struggling on his tyres, trying to get Storm again, looks like. So we got a good drive through that melee with Dittel, with his teammate having problems. Ash trying to get the outside of Storm. Ash Tube will go side by side. I'm pretty sure we'll return a favour to Storm, who doesn't give him that option. Storm knew what was coming, retribution for the previous lap, and didn't fight too hard. Otherwise, he was going to end up on the grass himself. Zonic, like I say, struggling at the moment with those hard tyres. That wasn't my camera work, so forgive that moment on the stream. Monarch's doing well. He's got good inherent pace, as we saw in the pole position, using his medium tyres at the moment, but let's hope he's not using them too much, because he's now caught Storm. He's currently in 9th place. Oh dear, yeah, really difficult glitching going on for Monarch, and either Monarch or Storm. I think it's Monarch's car, by the look of things. Ashtube going up the inside of Zonic on the way out of the penultimate corner as Storm completely loses adhesion with the tyres. Looks like Ash doing a little bit of weaving there, as he tries to finish the attack on Zonic. Looks like he's got enough of a gap there to get through turn 2 without challenge, and in that sequence where Storm lost traction, we saw Monarch get that place. So his journey of recovery through this race continues. P8, going really, really well, considering he was down in last place at one point in the race. Up at the front, Julian still extends his gap to Beetle, now 10 clear seconds at the start. He can afford to pit again if he wants to, and Sparks has gapped Lightning and caught Beetle. So Sparks has got great pace, as we've mentioned earlier in the race. He's commanding the lead of Division 3 at the moment, and he is he's enjoying this opportunity to drive against drivers from all over the divisions, and yeah, closing really tightly into Beetle here. Sparks has got to be looking really good for a podium tonight. He's got a tyre advantage over Beetle, but he just needs to be patient here. We've got another yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I'll keep an eye to see if anyone's tumbling down the order. Haven't seen anybody just yet. Ivan's gone. We've lost our only moving chicane motorsport car. Desperately sorry to see Ivan go. So no representation from his moving chicane tonight left. I wonder if he retired in the pits. Price is seeming to call him out. Shouldn't have done something. I presume Pricey means he shouldn't have retired. We've seen it before though. We did lose Maurizio and we lost Gwyneth and Ivan, as you can see on the tower. Anyway, here comes Sparks. This is his best opportunity, and he goes wide on the last corner in the dirty air, following behind Beetle. He'll get DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get him into this corner. So really, it feels to me like Beetle's got good top speed. We saw him battling earlier, and is able to defend well from a car on the start-finish straight, and just kind of keep the cars close to him, but not too close through the rest of the lap. Further down, we've got Ash. Nice and close up behind Monarch here. So Ash and Monarch really enjoying this stage of the race. They've been driving very well so far. No intentional commentator's curse. I'm not quite sure how Zonic is typing in the Discord while driving. Can't be advisable unless he's using microphone and voice type system. Anyway, Ash runs completely wide out of the last of the switchbacks and loses his gap to Monarch. So just as that was getting nice and tight, it's opened up again. Likewise with Sparks, actually, up near the front. Sparks keeps losing out in that final sector. Let's ride with him and see what Beetle's doing with his ERS, because I think that's going to be really interesting. In fact, let's turn on the telemetry and see what Beetle's doing. He's got 70% ERS. I wonder if he's waiting until the last corner to feed his ERS out. He's got the car in overtake mode at the moment, so I guess he's running the car. He's able to recover energy virtually all the time on this lap, not seeming to expend a great deal of ERS, as he makes a mistake there coming out of those fast S section. He's on old hard tyres here. It might just be a matter of time until we see Beetle giving up. Yeah, a lock up into the penultimate corner. This is really going to allow Sparks to take advantage on the way out. Here comes Beetle though, tries to break any toe that might be coming, deploys fully ERS and defends again for another lap, so lives to fight another day, and continues. But you fancy he's going to need to give the place up if Sparks gets through, because Sparks is well, robust, should we say, in his attacks and uncompromising. But look at the penalty situation as we hit lap 28. This is really interesting. Penalty situation is such that Sparks goes wrong, just as we're hanging out with Sparks, he loses the car under traction, turns the car around, loses a rear wing. Slightly dangerous. Rejoin. Dittle's retired. Looks like Monarch left the session. I wonder if any of our retirees or maybe Pricey might be able to invite Monarch back in. I'd love to see him finish the race. I think that's just a disco for Monarch, as Sparks is in recovery mode and broke his delta there. So but yeah, I was just talking about the penalty situation. Lightning racked up a few more during that VSC period, so no good for him. Monarch's back in, brilliant stuff, great stuff. So if someone invited him, thank you so much for that. Brilliantly done. Branch joins us and apologises for sleeping through. I know he works very late, so hopefully we can all forgive him for that. It's a shame that we didn't get to catch him, and he'll have the worst kind of cup of coffee this morning as he watches Ivan having already retired. Hate to break it to you, Branch. We're out of VSC again, but the penalty situation is, let's just say everyone's got a penalty, with the exception, as usual, of Monarch. Monarch does usually drive very, very cleanly, perhaps not pushing the limits too much, but his pace is really hot. Lightning, 20 seconds of penalties, so that's 23 seconds of penalties. Okay, gets another one. Just driving with complete abandon at this point, maybe driving a little bit angry over what happened earlier in the evening. Slides the car out of the penultimate corner, struggling with his tyres. It looks like Lightning's on 12 lap old hards, so shouldn't be going off relative to Beetle. Beetle's got a fair gap in front of him, in front of Lightning, further down the road there. So yeah, those penalties are in a bad way. Pretty much you've got Ash on 12. Bruder, drive-through penalty, has managed to amass, I think, enough penalties to generate a drive-through. So bad news for him. While his teammate Monarch is doing pretty well at the moment, driving, he's got a chance to try and catch Snarf with 5 laps to run. Snarf is, he only needs, yeah, he should be nailed on, I think, for a podium position, Monarch. If he can hold on without driving with any more penalties, he could well get the podium here, because he'll catch Snarf, and many people will catch Lightning tonight. Certainly Monarch and Snarf, but Ash may be too far back. So really interesting penalty situation there. Sparks has collected a lot and may not feature in the top 10 when everything shakes out at the end. As I mentioned, it's lap 31 now for Julian, who after the safety car is now on a 17.5 lap second gap. I wonder if Julian is lapping anybody yet. I can't see anybody ahead of him, but yeah, that's going to be the next challenge for Julian, is any lapped cars, but they seem to be retiring by the lap lately, so it might not be too much of a problem for him. Might be the only bit of interest for him though, if he does manage to lap and get somebody to lap. Although, is that Storm he's lapped? Ooh, bad news for Storm if he has just been lapped by his teammate. It's a little bit awkward in BMW Sauber, but I guess Storm will be pleased that his work to recruit for his team after Dawadek left has not slowed the team down any. Looked like that was Bruder just getting his drive-through done. He won't be changing tyres. And we'll just check in with Beetle, who seems to be surviving these old hard tyres at the moment pretty well. He's on the oldest tyres on the grid. He's got an 11-second lead, so it's not a free pit stop for him. He's going to have to manage the gap to Snarf. But you fancy he's not going to lose 11 seconds in 3 laps. 3.5 laps, I guess. From him. Looks like Monarch, having picked back up the connection, has just got past Snarf on merit on track. And remember, Monarch driving without penalties. So Monarch, qualified pole, down at the bottom of the order after lap 1, has caught back up through clean driving, so wasn't even driving so hard that he's skipped over corners or anything, and potentially looking at a podium position. So bit of an Imola for Lewis Hamilton kind of situation for Monarch. Can't help but be on the podium despite all the drama he's been through. Obviously helped a little bit by the safety car, but certainly not helped by taking his front wing off in the early stages. Snarf is staying with Monarch, but it might be a fairly pointless battle here. Let's just remind ourselves those penalties again. So yeah, the top 2 aren't going to worry about their penalties. Lightning's going to be the one that's most worried about the penalty situation. That's going to leave the Audi team, certainly after touring around in 2nd and 3rd before their collision. The only accolade the Audi team are going to take home tonight is going to be most penalised team. So I don't know if we have a prize for that. Perhaps you could give me some suggestions in the chat. What would be a good prize for the most penalised team to accept? Maybe a dunce hat. Can we do a dunce hat emoji in the Discord attached instead of their flag? Might be entertaining for 5 minutes anyway. So your order, lap 34, we're getting really close to the end now, is Julian from Beetle and Monarch. Then Snarf, Lightning, Ash. Though those positions are likely to change. In fact, Lightning needs to work pretty hard here to try and stay ahead of Ash after they both tumble down the order. Fast racing for Joker's team in P7 with Gogs. We've got a yellow in sector 1, look. Gogs in P8, Sparks in P9 after a dramatic race. Zonic P10, catching Sparks at the moment, so hoping to get him despite penalties, but might be a little bit nervous to overtake him after if he's seen Sparks on track with his own teammate, may not want to give it a go. See if Sparks is he doesn't defend, but Zonic wasn't close enough anyway. Storm, as we mentioned, I believe a lap down in P11, and then Bruder also, I think, a lap down is in P12, being lapped by his teammate now, getting out of his teammate's way, but really just killing time now to the end of the race. Julian's on his last lap, and just driving imperiously as he did in Singapore as well. So Julian, I'd love to see Julian against Prime with Tom and all of our dominant top drivers. I'd love to see a battle royale with those guys, or some sort of Masters event. What do you think? I think it'd be pretty cool to see our very, very fastest drivers, most dominating drivers all together. But Julian touring around now, I don't think he's pushing very hard. Look at him. Okay, he's toying with the field at the moment. He doesn't want to do too much of this because Monarch has got a favourable penalty situation, but Julian has either run out of fuel or he's just messing around. I think he's messing around. Yeah. Let's Storm unlap himself, it seems. Maybe that was being generous to his teammate, but Julian has got enough capacity in the race to think about where his teammate finishes, engages DRS, crosses the line and wins in Hungary by a country mile. So here's Beetle coming through, fully deploying, gives a little wiggle on the way through the line. Beetle gets second place, and Monarch, fabulous recovery drive from Monarch, gets P3. Congratulations to Monarch and Versace Couture. And we've got Snarf, followed by... Snarf jumped Monarch? Did Monarch get a penalty right at the death there? That's confusing me, because Monarch was fastest penalty free. Anyway, Ash gets 5th, Lightning 6th. While we say that, Fast Racing leapfrogs both of them and gets that 5th place. So a 5th for him, Ash Tube, Lightning 7th and 8th, Zonic in P8, Gogs in P9, and our final finisher will be Storm, I think, because Bruder did not manage to unlap himself. Here comes Storm. Sparks DNF'd on the last lap. Don't understand. Some strange things going on at the end of the race as we see Storm crosses the line in the final. So I don't know what on earth just happened. I'll find out from Anthony Davidson who his driver of the day is. Well, I think the owner driver is the driver of the day. Okay, thanks, Anthony. Great, they're all owner drivers. Anyway, Julian off-brand, but Julian takes the win from Beetle in OWP, very much on-brand. So well done for him. And it looks like Snarf got that P3. I don't understand how Snarf got the P3 over Monarch. So got a 30-second penalty? I don't get it. Help me out in the chat, please, quickly, because I don't get that one at all. Julian takes the win. Beetle from Snarf. Monarch. Then P5 was Fast Racing. 6th for Ashtube. Then Lightning, Zonic, Gogs and Storm make out our top 10 finishes. We didn't get a finish from Sparks. He DNF'd right at the end, but did get fastest lap, so credit to Sparks for that one. Bruder was a lap down, and then our DNFs were Dittle, Ivan, Quineth and Maurizio. I really need to see what happened with Monarch. What happened right at the end? So a couple of warnings, absolutely nothing. Yeah, don't understand. He suddenly lost like 30 seconds. Help me out. Don't understand. Proper weird finish there to our podium, but all the same, it was fun watching our drivers battling out from P2 downwards. But yeah, Monarch's confused in the chat as well. Monarch, if you're watching along with us, I'm as confused as you are. I think you're the rightful P3. I think you could certainly have that place appealed if you report it in the instance, because yeah, that big problem for that one there. Now I will have one go, I think, to try and catch our winner, Julian, but we're running late tonight, so I will probably just bear with me. I'm going to try and get our winner. The hosting session all sorted out, get everybody queued in. I had about 8 minutes before the scheduled start of the race, so we were late getting going. I've requested Julian. I know he ran off pretty quickly. He ran off pretty quickly last week, and yeah, I'm hoping to try and catch him if possible. Anyway, guys, good game, good racing, pretty clean from the vast majority of people. I know a lot of penalties were amassed, but they were track limits rather than contact. And yeah, I hope everyone watching has enjoyed an evening of Formula C by Celeritas. Like I say, I'm going to hang on just a minute or so. Stay with us. I'll let you know if we can't get our winner. And we'll do our very best to get in touch with everybody. Just trying to follow the chat in the Discord server. A reminder to anyone watching, we have 3 nights of broadcast racing a week and a 4th night of non-broadcast yet. So Friday, Saturday and Sunday nights we have Division 2 and Division 1 at 6 PM UK time. Division 3 on Sunday is not at the moment broadcast, while we collect and finish collecting all the drivers for that one. And then of course we have this time on a Tuesday night at 8 PM for Formula C by Celeritas. I'm not seeing Julian at the moment, so I just have one go at trying to get him into the press conference. I think we need to have a word with the BMW Sauber press department, because they're not bringing their drivers to the briefing. I think we are going to get Julian, so let's hope so. He's just responded to me, so yeah, let's see whether we can get him. Yeah, so bear with us. I think we're going to get our race winner for a quick chat, if at all possible. I'm afraid my multitasking skills are not up to scratch. I'm unable to type a cogent message to somebody and maintain chat on my own here for everybody. Let's see. I'm hopeful we will get our race winner Here he comes, look.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Julian. Now, settle something for me. Is it Julian or Julian?
Julian.
Julian. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. My massive
Um,
apologies. I thought I was assuming because of the Dutch flag, I would
nah.
pronounce
Yeah,
it.
well, it doesn't matter, but just I always say to English people, just say Julian, and it's fine.
Excellent. Okay.
I'm going to look if my voice is sending out. Where do I need to look for that?
So it's just the party settings, I believe. It should say share chat in audio. I'm pretty sure our stream audience will let me know if they can't hear you anyway. They usually do pretty quickly.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that looked easy. Was it easy for you tonight?
Well, yeah. Well, I won't say it was easy, but it was. I could just drive clean, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't need to push all over the limit. I could just drive on the 95%.
Yeah.
So a few little mistakes here and there, just going a bit too wide sometimes. But
And it looked like at the end you'd lapped your teammate and then decided to unlap him.
yeah. He said the guy in P10 crashed.
Right.
And I was like 4 seconds behind that guy. And well, he got like red front wing or something because he was like losing maybe 4 seconds each sector.
Yeah.
So I was just letting my teammate pass so he could get him. If I
Brilliant.
went on, he would finish P11 because he couldn't catch him because
Oh, fantastic.
his race would be over. And if I let him through, he could still do that another lap and overtake the guy.
That's really smart racing. Did you have an open party?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, so fantastic work from the Sauber team to get to cooperate into a better position there. And I was saying on the stream that you're obviously driving with enough capacity to think about factors like that. Very, very good. Did you find out from Storm what happened to his qualifying? Because it looked pretty bad.
Well, he was still late, but he didn't tell me why he put in that qualifying. We only went into the party when the race was starting. It was a bit late with updating the game. And
yeah, it's great that the game surprised us all.
He was in a hurry and probably just messed up his lap.
Yeah, it was a 1:33, I think, was it?
Yeah,
his bank.
He was. Yeah.
He'll really thank me for bringing this up. I'm sure on Friday I'll be in lots of trouble. But focusing on your race, it looked like you got a reasonable start and were just able to stay away from Monarch.
I had a really bad start.
Did you?
But I always have bad start on this game, and I don't know how to fix it. I tried so many options, but now I started P3, and after corner 1 I was P6, so that isn't a good start. But you know, those softs on those guys will like go away under them for like 3 laps. So I just waited and picked them up one by one because they crashed in front of me, so that was pretty easy.
Yes, it was the Celeritas pole winner's curse struck again tonight with Monarch. I think he lost it.
Oh, he was
coming out of
was still pretty quick. I was surprised to see him back in P3 at the end.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He was right at the bottom of the grid after P1, after lap 1, and brought it all the way back. So he's clearly got a great deal of race pace, and I fancy would probably be pushing you a lot harder than you were pushed normally today.
I hope so. It's always more fun to be pushed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a great result for you again. Have you got any weak tracks on the calendar?
Have I got any weak tracks?
Yeah. Can you give anybody a source for optimism?
No, I don't have. I don't have. We'll just practice more, and then they will not be my weak tracks anymore.
Okay. Okay, well, that's bad news for everybody in the league anyway. But it's really good to watch you racing, and great to have you join us in Formula C.
Thank you, mate.
No, great to see it, and
great to be racing.
Thanks, man. Good to talk to you.
A lot of fun. Yes. Goodbye.
Cheers, man. Well, So, unfortunately, bad news for our drivers in the rest of Formula C that Julian is here to stay and has got no weak tracks at all. But remember, there will be 4 races where he won't be able to race. So, show up, do your practice for those races, check the attendance, and try and get your points in while you can, while Julian's not racing. Anyway, like I say, running a bit late now tonight, guys. It's been a pleasure watching the race with everybody, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I ran through the order of our races this week already, so I won't do that again. But we hope to join you again next time, and we will catch you on the next race day.